Ben, the last time I spoke to you, it was a very late winner in front of the Stretford end. Not so late this time around, but a huge 3 points you've secured again.
Oh yeah, it was really important for us to win this game. It was really difficult. Yeah, we were fighting, they were fighting. It was really like 50-50 battle. But yeah, we managed it till the end and yeah, secured a win.
But this form that you're finding yourself in right now, you're coming off the bench, you're showing that impact. How close are you, do you feel, to making it from the start?
For me, it's just important whenever I come inside, I use my time. I try to help the team because that's why I'm here. If I get 5 minutes, if I get 90 minutes, doesn't really matter. It's just about showing and deliver if I possibly can, and yeah, I'm really happy with it.
But when you were watching from the bench, did you feel you were going to make another impact? Because it just seems so routine for you now.
I have belief in me, and so like players have as well. They know what they're gonna get when I arrive in the game, and yeah, then it's up to me to deliver, of course.
Which you did. Congratulations.
So Ben, you've done it again. How does it feel?
Yeah, it feels amazing, you know, to help the team again and to secure the win. It's more than a perfect feeling, and especially now because it was a really important game, and because it was really tough, it feels even better.
It was tough, as you said there. It was a hard-fought victory today. How much did you and the rest of the players give in today's performance? No,
everyone was really fighting. Like, they put maximum out of each other, and that's why it paid off in the end. We won the game, and especially towards the end of the game, a lot of corners, a lot of fighting, and that's where they win the game. And we were fighting in the end and secured the win.
And for you personally, it takes a strong mentality to come off the bench and make an impact, especially in the way that you did. How did it feel when that ball hit the back of the net?
Oh wow, it's unbelievable. The emotions, the feeling, just, you know, scoring for Manchester United is something the best that I was always imagining, dreaming, and yeah, every time I'm doing it, it feels unbelievable.
You seem like you're enjoying every single second at the moment. You can see it on your face. You're absolutely beaming today. How happy are you for this good feeling to continue?
No, I'm looking forward to more. I'm looking forward for next game already, which is going to be at home, even better. Home fans, our people, and yeah, I'm looking forward and to win the game and to keep on going with the streak.
Sounds good to me. Congrats.
I think obviously look at the supporters. He's there. They are happy. They're happy. Of course, a new result, and it breeds confidence into the club. So you have a striker. He comes on a couple of times now. He scores the goal. So Michael knows when to change the formation. I think Man United was a bit under pressure in the first 15 minutes. I think David Moyes had a different tactic approach to the second half, and Michael got to change, and yeah, they got a counter-attack goal.
And maybe, Jamie, this is one of those nights when we have to praise Manchester United's recruitment, not just the goalkeeper, but also this £210 million strike force who combined for the goal.
Well, we highlighted before the game a lot, Brian and Beaumont, when talking about a player who almost feels like a perfect Manchester United player who can get you from one end of the pitch to the other. He's the guy with the assist in this situation, but the guy who comes on in Sesko, he's another player who can get you from one end of the pitch to the other. So you see, now we highlight Sesko, we see the run from Brian and Beaumont, brilliant ball from Cunha. The three outfield signings, absolutely superb, but he just leaves Tarkowski for dead. The pace is absolutely sensational. And to run that far and to finish with that composure is absolutely outstanding. But from an Everton point of view, we talk about maybe taking a risk to try and win the game. So Everton have got two defenders, the two centre-backs high up the pitch. Keane's not, but Tarkowski is. But the risk they take, and listen, the left-back, Branthwaite, at the back post, that means Everton would have a 4-on-3 really at the back post when the cross comes in. That's the risk you take. But on the flip side of that is a normal setup for most teams in the Premier League. But Everton do have defenders who probably struggle pace-wise, and that's a bit rich coming from me. But you understand what I mean. So when that ball is then turned over, and we see the position they find themselves in, as that ball is now played, you've got Mbeumo on the run against Michael Keane. Now, there's two problems here for Michael Keane. He's not as quick as Mbeumo, and he's still not basically moved his body position, so he's facing his goal. Mbeumo's away. Michael Keane's still got to get on the turn, and with the 83 yards he's got to make up, Sesko there's no way James Tarkowski is going to keep up with him.
Well, sympathies for him. I mean, he was clocked as the fastest player on the pitch tonight with that run, Benjamin Sesko. But the quality of the finish as well, Edwin. With his 4th touch of the game, we shouldn't forget having come on.
No, of course. Jimmy said like the long run and everything, and he still after that moment. I don't think he looks at the goalkeeper. I think he knows exactly the ball is coming to the side. He knows exactly where he's gonna play the ball.
He looks like he's got a lot more in the tank as well, doesn't he?
He doesn't look like he's tired.
He looks at the ball, so he knows where the bottom corner is. He knows that is the opposite side. Get it low down, and he scores another vital goal for the run where United is in.
He doesn't even look like he's breathing, Evan. I mean, he's gone with what you say, the fastest on the pitch tonight, over 80 yards. He's then finished. You'd expect him to be like, breathing, panting, but no. He's still got the energy to really celebrate, and rightly so. Listen, I wouldn't say he had a difficult start, but maybe a slower start than he would have liked initially. But as I said, he's on fire of late, and I think we were wondering whether he would start tonight. It almost feels inevitable, like he's almost put himself into the team, I would feel now.
Yeah, he was the goal scorer, the man that won the match for Manchester United. Gary Neville, though, decided that Senne Lammens was going to be the man of the match, and actually you on the Finalysis app agreed with that selection. Manchester United fans have voted for Senne Lammens to be their player of the match. United are back to winning ways, 5 wins out of 6. This is... he is building quite the compelling case, isn't he, Michael Carrick? And his support, I would imagine, is growing by the week to take permanent control of Manchester United. What would you say to that, Edwin? We talked about them winning in different ways. Is that what they had to do this evening?
Yeah, I think what you from both teams were really poor. Second half, Everton I think started on the bright foot. They on the front foot. They were really pressing a little bit, and then he brought on Sesko and. Actually, maybe I think it's the only chance. Maybe just a couple of minutes before the end, Sesko had another one, so 1-on-1 that Pickford saved. But I think they were under pressure. I think Everton threw everything what they had towards Man United. They stood firm, stood calm, and got the win over the finish line.
Here he is then, the man himself, Michael Carrick, with Juliet Ferrington.
Michael, your keeper told us that it wasn't the prettiest, but you're going to take that, aren't you, and the clean sheet that came with it?
Yeah, without doubt. I think there's games when you have to do that and show different sides to the game, really. And I kind of expected, we had the first 4 games where the first, obviously, 4 wins in a row and some really good performances in there. And I kind of expected a little bit of a kind of period where we would have to find ourselves a little bit and find results and what we did it to a point at West Ham and we had to do it today, and that spirit, that sacrifice, that willingness to work for each other and as a team. I think the way we had to defend the box for the last spell of the game, everybody playing their part, and in the end a clean sheet, fantastic, and a great win for us. The
fact that you hadn't played for a while, did that affect the performance at all? It was a bit of a slog, wasn't it?
It was. It didn't really come easy for us tonight. It's a tough. I came to Everton for a long time, and when we come over here, it's always tough. And so I've never had an easy game. I've never had a game where it's all clicked. I don't think I can remember. So we expected a tough one tonight. Listen, when we played our last game is what it is, But the lads have trained really well actually, and we came in looking and feeling good about the game. It just was one of those nights for us, and it was a bit of a. We had to dig deep. It was a bit of a struggle at times, but sometimes they're the best ones to win.
You used the word click there. 3 summer signings, they all clicked, didn't they, for the goal? Yeah,
it was a great move. We know we're capable of that. I think we've got players that can do that, and if we defend as a team and we put the work in, then we always feel we got a chance. The clean sheet was just as important as the goal, but it was a fabulous goal, brilliant from Mateus, defending well, changing in the transition, and Brian picks out the pass, and for Ben it's just a really confident, strong finish, which I liked. It was fantastic, delighted for him again. He's made an impact again, and he keeps doing it.
And what kind of impact is he going to make going forward? Has he done enough for you to maybe have a think about perhaps starting him from the top?
Yeah, listen, Ben's in a good place at the moment, and we've had some really good talks about it. And patience is one thing for him, and building him and help him grow as a player and developing as a player here. And he's patient, and he understands that. He's going to be a big player for us for a long period of time. I'm sure of that. And we got to manage that. We got some really good forward players, and he's made a big difference for us when he's been on the pitch. But that's obviously decisions as we move forward. But the balance has been good with the forward players, so we need to continue that.
Well, you're definitely in a good place. Thank you, Michael.
Thanks a lot. Cheers.
Yeah, giving praise to Benjamin Sesko. I mean, if we think back to when Michael Carrick came in, we were talking about could Manchester United finish in the Champions League places. That was the question then. The question now has got to change, hasn't it, to how high actually can Manchester United finish if this continues?
Okay, yeah, the top two, yeah, that's out of reach. But I think the main thing for Man United to finish in the top 4, top 5, get that Champions League football, get some more results in March. I think there's some periods in between, of course, not out of the cup, no international football. So he has time to work on the formation on the training ground at Carrickton, and let's hope the form of the team is growing all the time. Clicking, of course, there's demand for places. The question of the journalists are now coming, of course, even stronger. Does Sesko need a starting position? Perhaps, but at the moment, yeah, he's picking the right numbers and the right names for the team. It's good also with injuries, injury-wise. Okay, Martinez, I think Jora played also his part in the game tonight. So players are getting their chances, and hopefully the success will be there.
It's working, isn't it? The decisions, the timing of the substitutions. How do you see that race for Champions League football now?
I think Manchester United are virtually a guarantee in that position, because Aston Villa don't have... Well, Aston Villa look like they're dropping points at the moment. They've got still the European football on a Thursday night as well, so a lot of Thursday, Sunday. Liverpool and Chelsea are both still in Champions League, and they've got FA Cup as well, and will want to, do well in at least one of those competitions and go at least to sort of semi-final and final. And I can't see Manchester United not making it.
There you go.
Mind games. No, I do believe
I'm sure they're hanging on you for every word.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll get into your heads all right.
You'll see them again on Sunday against Crystal Palace. 2 o'clock, one of 3 games kicking off at 2 on Sunday, Sky Sports main event. Now 6 home defeats for Everton at Hill Dickinson. That's one more that they had in all of their last season at Goodison. Here's David Moyes with Juliet.
David, despite the scoreline, are you relatively happy with what you saw out there?
Well, I'm not happy with the scoreline, that's for sure, because you have to win games if you're going to keep moving on, and we've not been doing that quite as much as we'd like to do, especially here. But performance-wise, we've lost narrowly 1-0 to Manchester United. We narrowly beat them 1-0 at Old Trafford. So the early part of the season, we were the ones who were celebrating. They're the ones tonight. So I generally think that we done very well in lots of bits. We get done with on the counter-attack, and they ran away and they got the one goal which was there. But I thought we put in great effort to try and get the goal, but just lacked the quality maybe to make that goal count.
Was it a lack of concentration as well that led to their goal, because you were on top in that spell?
Yeah, I think we were. I've had a look at it. We've got our midfield player crossing the ball in the box. We've got our left back in. We just weren't organised well enough off the ball. I have to praise them for their quick attack. But no, we knew that was the case. We'd seen them doing it recently. Man United have been doing it very well. Look at forward players who have got that ability to run away fast and make chances. And in most of the game we had controlled it pretty well. But at one moment we had switched off, and it gave them that opportunity.
Double digits as well on the corner count. Law of averages would suggest that one of them, maybe 2 of them, would have gone your way.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they had too many tonight, but I just thought their goalkeeper done a great job. I thought their goalkeeper made an amazing save from Michael Keane. It looked as if he was nearly going to come and take every corner kick, and he made it difficult for us to score. But I thought there was a goal in us somewhere in it, but we just couldn't quite do it.
And when you look at the bigger picture, the support, you could hear them, the supporters chanting Everton, applauding the players off the pitch. They could see the effort that was put in there tonight.
Well, I think the effort the players have put in all season, but I take your point tonight. I think they saw us pushing United right to the last minute. We just couldn't quite get it, and I think we deserved it. I don't think we deserved to lose the game tonight. So from that point of view, we got away disappointed, but sort of good things we can take from it as well.
David, thank you.
Thank you. See you later.
2026 goes on for Everton. How are they going to change this narrative? Jamie, what are they going to have to do differently at home?
I don't know. David Moyes doesn't know. And he knows a lot more about Everton than me. What I will say is, though, there's a little bit of frustration from Evertonians because they're not winning at home, and you always want to do well because that's when your home fans are there, most of them are there. I get that. So there's that frustration with the new stadium because that was the big excitement over the last few years, try and stay in the Premier League and we get to the new stadium. But also at times, I noticed this through sort of friends and family or social media, when Everton lose a game, a lot of focus goes on the manager, as it does with most clubs, and David Moyes gets a little bit of criticism. But how David Moyes has got that squad of players in 9th position, I will never know. I mean, they've been on Monday Night Football 6 times this year. I'm very really impressed. They do okay. They get the job done. But how, I mean, so me, what David Moyes has done since he's come in about 12 months ago, maybe a little bit more, he's done phenomenal, really, because this is a team and a club who've been fighting relegation the last few years. So I know it's disappointing because they've been so close to sort of making the next step to European places, and that frustrates the supporters. But please don't be pointing the finger at David Moyes. As I said, that squad is not the 9th best squad of players in the Premier League. I think
what you said, whatever, they were relegation candidates for the last 2-3 years. They were really struggling. The team now, the position where they're in, maybe whatever. I think the number 10, he's a really good player. I think he missed a proper striker who can score 12 to 14 goals. I think for that team. Yeah. I think that's the thing they're missing. They've got some young players in. Of course, the 2 centre halves are maybe a little bit at the later stage of their career. But yeah, I think they're missing one of the strong forwards who can give you a goal from a set piece or individual action.
And as David Moyes well known and pointed out there, £210 million in that strike force that combined for that Manchester United counter-attack resources that Everton just do not have right now. But they do have a very good goalkeeper, as do Manchester United. Do either of them, though, make Jamie's Premier League?
He was the match winner, but as I say, 3 clean sheets in 6 games now for Manchester United and their goalkeeper, Senne Lammens, who's waiting to speak to us live from Hill Dickinson Stadium. Senne, very well done, another clean sheet. How big a win is that for you boys tonight?
Yeah, it's probably one of the most important wins this season. We knew, 2 weeks off, 1 week no game, that it was going to be a difficult one to get back in the rhythm, to get back in the last five games. Get that winning streak going again. So it was really important today. Also feel a little bit sour the home loss against them. So we wanted to prove something today as well. I think our game wasn't the best. We could have been better with the ball. But if you work hard and as a team, if you defend well, we have players on top who can help us out. And like you said, Benjamin, who comes in and who helps us out again, is really important for us.
Yeah, that's him at one end of the pitch. You say about defending well. I mean, how many questions did Everton ask you in particular with those amazing corners? 9 of them in the second half. What was that like with all those players in front of you?
Yeah, it's starting to get a lot. I mean, yeah, they're trying stuff to hinder me, to not get to the ball, so I understand that as well. But like you see on here, it's starting to get a little bit much because I can't even be on the pitch. I have to be inside my own goal. So I think that's when it starts to get a little bit too much. But yeah, it's also difficult for the referees. I understand that, but I'm really happy that I could still help the team, even though it was really difficult today on those corners.
Senne, it's Michael Owen. Congratulations, another good performance from you. You seem to bring a real calming influence as well to this Manchester United back four, the team in general. Is that just your character? Is that something that you work on, or does it come naturally?
It's a bit of both, I think. It's also naturally my character is a little bit more calm and relaxed and ease. I mean, relaxed is the wrong word because I'm always ready and for everything. But I think that's also very important for me as a goalkeeper. You have to bring calmness and rest and good feeling to your defense, so they know they can trust you. So yeah, I would say it's a bit of both.
Senne, Ashley Young here. Just want to say congratulations on the win tonight. Obviously, you've got a settled back four in front of you. Does that bring you a lot of confidence to have a settled back four? You know, not too many changes, chopping and changes. You've got a formation there of a settled, like I say, the back four. Does that give you a lot of confidence going into the games?
Yeah, I think we got a lot of good players, but like you said, I think the beginning of the season was a little bit in and out. Some people getting injured, not really getting the rhythm going with the same back four. So I think with the last couple of games, we've had almost the same back four now with Lenny today. But still, yeah, you can feel the togetherness, the trust in each other, and just the way we defend together and how much pride we take in it, just defending our goal. And then it's still our players up top who have to make the difference, but we know we trust them as well. But we know our job is very important, so that's why we take pride in, yeah.
And just finally, Senne, can you feel the belief, the confidence? I mean, 16 points from 18 under Michael Carrick.
Yeah, like I said, we had a really good stretch going, really good stretch of 5 games. So we knew today was going to be really massive to continue that streak and continue that good feeling. We want to chase those above us, so I think today we did a really good job, and now we have to keep going. The belief is there, the feeling is good, so we just have to keep going. And like I said before as well, it's not always the best game, the best way of playing or with the ball, but if you work hard like this and if you defend together, you can win every game, especially with our kind of group.
Well, listen, very well done on your clean sheet and the win. Thanks very much indeed for talking to us.
Thank you. Bye-bye, see you guys.
That is Senne Lammens live on Merseyside for you. You fancy playing in front of him? That calming influence that Michael was talking about?
Yeah, of course, definitely. It'd be really nice to, have a goalkeeper like that as just calm and
it has been a problem position for United prior to his arrival.
It has been. It has been a problem for a long while. When you've got a keeper that wants to do his job, he wants to catch the ball, he wants to punch the ball. He's kicking it at times. He's not making silly mistakes. You've got confidence in the keeper that's behind you. As a back four, that's all you need.
Yeah, really impressive. I mean, because you say it's been a problem position, it has been, and I think they've almost stumbled on Lammens in many ways.
Well, you say stumbled. Let's give some credit to the recruitment team, because he went under the... I mean, the day he signed, I text Peter Schmeichel. Do you know what Peter Schmeichel said? And he watches goalkeepers everywhere. He said, I've never heard of him, Steve. Well, they've heard of him now. I mean, he's on that list. The first 4 were all hugely influential in that win tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that now has turned... I mean, if you'd said about 6 months ago, look at those players, you'd say, yeah, Mbermo, Cunha, Premier League experience. Oh, Sesko's not looking good. He's looking expensive. Lammens, I've not really heard of him, as Peter Schmeichel might have said, obviously. Yeah, I mean, it's almost a mixed bag. But now you're looking at it with a little bit of change and a bit of confidence and all that's going on at Manchester United at the moment, and all of a sudden, all of those signings look as if they're on the money. So just shows you how it's changed. But I go back to it saying he wasn't necessarily... He was probably bought for the future and to see if he can develop and all the rest of it. He was almost thrown in because not really happy with what's going on in the first, in that position. So... and I don't think he came in with everybody thinking, yes, this is the new kid on the block. This fella's going to be brilliant. It was like, we're going to have to give him a go. We're not really happy with what we are at the moment. So fair play to him. He's grabbed that chance with both hands, and he's making that position his own now.
And with him and the 3 who combined for the goal, I mean, Manchester United's recruitment has either battering, hasn't it, over the last few seasons? I mean, we need to point out the success at the moment of those 4 names and the influence they've had tonight in this season. Yeah,
of course, and I think that it's been a difficult time for the club with recruitment. With the players that they brought in, still there was questions over them, but they were the ones that you were saying, well, they are doing things in the games and they were creating, not as much as what they have done now. And when you're having that creativity in the team, and you're being more and more influential. And you look at the 3, like we spoke about, that were involved in the goal. They were fantastic, and the way that they find each other with the passes, the way that they get the team up the pitch at times with the counter attack. Then it's got to be done. And they have been a breath of fresh air since they've come in. And like you say, the recruitment team do have to take some credit for that.
Well, talking the fresh air and breathing it in, Michael Carrick has done that, no question about it. Yet to lose, 5 wins out of 6, and that draw at West Ham. All 3 points tonight, and here is what he thinks about it all.
Well, Michael, a hard-earned victory tonight. How pleased are you with that performance and that result?
It certainly was, yeah. We had to do a lot of work tonight. Credit to Everton, they made it difficult. They made us defend our box with a lot of corners at times, but I thought the spirit, the way we defended as a team around the box was top class, you know, and in the end the clean sheet has got us a result. Fantastic goal, great breakaway, good finish from Ben. We can play better than that. We can play a lot better in certain aspects, but at the same time it was really pleasing to come away from home and win 1-0.
So much to talk about with the goal. Let's start with Benjamin Sesko. He's done it again.
Great finish. It was a really kind of ruthless finish. I like the way he put it away with real confidence, and great play from Mateus and Brian to set it up, and we're dangerous on the break. Obviously, you know, we can do that, and we've got the players to be able to do that. But delighted for Ben again, coming on and making a difference for us was a big impact again.
Yeah, we've got to dive into that ball from Mateus Cunha, because, I mean, it's not an assist because Mbeumo gets the assist, but my word, he created that goal.
Fantastic, yeah, from deep. He had to do a bit of defending, especially second half Mateus, and he did it really well, and put himself in a position to get hold of the ball and create that transition. And yeah, it was some pass over the top, and obviously the next couple of bits, Brian and Ben finished it off. But yeah, it was. I just think we needed a whole team performance in terms of the pressure Everton ended up putting us under at times, and we needed everyone to defend, and the boys did that. And if you do that, you get your rewards, because we've got dangerous players.
And so much of that pressure came on your goalkeeper, Senne Lammens, from corners, as you say, but a couple of great saves as well. One from Michael Keane.
Yeah, made a couple really good saves. I thought he just looked really calm and composed, and in a tough environment, to be honest. And a lot of corners coming in under his crossbar, a lot of bodies, and he didn't really get flustered, and took some really good catches and good clean hands, and just takes the sting out of the game. And he was immense for us tonight.
And you're up to fourth, still unbeaten in your second spell as caretaker manager here. How pleased are you with the way it's going? It couldn't really have gone any better so far for you, Michael, could it? I'm certainly delighted with the result and the spirit and the boys showing to dig deep and sacrificing for each other, and that gives me a lot of encouragement for us moving forward. Results-wise, it's been good. You know, I think there's still so much to come from us, and in a real positive way. So let's look forward to the games coming up.
Remember the day when he gets carried away with 3 points. We know him with that. But it's worth pointing out, under the two spells, he's yet to lose a game at Manchester United.
Well, that's all he's got to keep doing, basically. He's just got to keep winning games. Like
what happens if he does, Ash?
For me, if he keeps doing that, he gets the job. It's that simple for me. He's come in, he gives the players the confidence to go out and play. He's got fans singing again. He's got fans hoping. He's got a team up into fourth, 3 points off Aston Villa. If this keeps going that way, I can't see the club, and I don't think the club should turn in any other way, because I think he's got it right. He knows that, they can play better. We saw tonight in the first half they wasn't as good as what they can be. Of course he wants to get to a point of where, like Mo said, that they want to dominate teams. But right now they're not able to do that. They're playing more on the counter-attack. But when it's finishing off like they have done tonight, why wouldn't you give him the job?
What about the other side of the story, and David Moyes and Everton and this problem at home this evening? That's
the thing. I think that's it's a big problem. I said about it before that your home form is massive, especially in this division. If you're looking at, Everton in ninth position, and they're looking at, the manager's saying that to get into the European places, the club as a whole. When you're at that club, when you play for that club, the size of the club. The club's been in Europe before, so they want to get back to there. But when your home form's not going as well as what it has done this season, it could be. It's becoming a problem, and. If you're playing away from home and you're playing with more confidence and you can't get that balance right between home form and away form, then, it can become your sticking point. So they've just got to find a way of getting a right result at home, and, whichever way you can do that, they just need the 3 points at home.
OK. Wins have actually come away from home now for Everton.
Steve, I almost think they're a similar style, let's say, of team to Manchester United in that respect. I think it suits Everton to almost be sat back as well. Tarkowski's not got loads of pace, but one of the best defenders on the edge of his box. They have got players that can do what Manchester United did tonight, hit on their counter-attack. They've had, those three players that we mentioned before the game, and Jai, Obviously Grealish, who's missing at the minute, and Dewsbury Hall, they're really, really talented and they can hit anybody on the break. So I think it almost suits them to be playing away from home or to be playing against a good team. They can give anybody problems. But in general, it's not a season that Everton have had like in previous seasons where they're always on the back foot thinking of relegation. They'll be fine this season.
OK, Ash, great to have you with us. Thank you very much indeed for joining us on the Monday Night Football that has gone the way of Manchester United. 5 wins and a draw in 6 games under Michael Carrick, and they now have that 3-point cushion in the top 4. And the 3 of us see you soon.
What Jamie's going to tell us now, because he has made changes, Michael Carrick. There was one way under Ruben Amorim. It's been a very different way under Michael Carrick.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I've been really impressed with him. You know, he handles himself really well in the media. It comes across the way he does as a player, very cool, calm, collected. And he has done really well. But what he's done initially is, I think, something that a lot of managers would have done to come into this team to change from Amorim. So the first thing we've spoken about a lot about was sort of playing a back 4. You think the traditions of Manchester United, and for me, top teams should be playing in that way. And the back 3 was never sort of a system that suited Manchester United. Edwin made a great point about the youth academy, Manchester United traditions there, but Mainu, a lot of people were screaming for him to come into that central midfield position. And the knock-on effect about Mainu going into central midfield meant that their best player and one of the best attacking players in European football could be in his best position between the lines. So this was early on where, obviously, Bruno Fernandes almost gets in. It's interesting to sort of look at Bruno Fernandes and sort of his heat map, if you like. And I think under Amorim, he wanted them everywhere. He wanted them building up deeper, getting in the box, almost just running all over the place, really. But when you see him under Michael Carrick, it's a lot more disciplined, these heat maps. So there you want him between the lines. You don't want him coming deep, getting the ball off the back 4, where he can hurt the opposition, and that's exactly what he's done. And it's interesting, then you look at the stats when you look at it, and look at that. Open play chances created per 90, a lot more, obviously, under Michael Carrick. So you look at obviously the appearance, obviously big difference there, but touches per 90, he's getting less touches. But the big thing that stands out, those touches are actually more productive for the team because he's actually waiting at times for the ball rather than going searching for the ball and chasing all over the pitch.
Yeah, I think what you showed the picture before with the heat map, where do you want your best players who can make a difference in the game? It's that position.
Yeah.
So you must have whatever defenders or center midfielder who can play that ball also, make sure that he's there where it really matters.
And that's the one big one that stands out. Passes in the final third. That just comes from the fact that he was a lot deeper under Ruben Amorim. He was playing as one of the 2 central midfield players. But, as I said, he's as good as anybody in this league and arguably European football between the lines, and that's where he needs to play.
And servicing these front players who have got talent without doubt. And Brian Mbeumo, someone you've had a bit of an eye on in terms of his position, as you mentioned to Michael there.
Yeah, he come in for me as almost like a right winger or a right-sided forward in the Amorim system. And I was surprised to see him go through the middle. But for me, he's been one of the best signings in the Premier League this season. And he suits Manchester United. I've heard Gary Neville so often describe what a Manchester United player should look like. And it feels like it's him. Huge spaces, huge pitch. But someone who can get you up the pitch with power and pace. And yes, this is a counter-attack, but you've got the 2 wingers initially, Bruno Fernandes in the number 10 position, but the power and pace from one end of the pitch to the other in Mbeumo and finish. And that's what he can do. He's been absolutely fantastic. And this, again, at Arsenal. So they became like a front 2. Brian Mbeumo again through the middle because we've got Ahmad here wide. Fernandes between the lines. And the question I've just asked Michael Carrick about changing Mbeumo's position from a centre-forward is down to this man, Dorgu, I feel. So again, combining brilliantly with Bruno Fernandes. Fantastic goal from Dorgu, but Dorgu got injured shortly after in this game. And what they lost was the penetration in wide areas. So I think that's one of the biggest reasons why Mbeumo has now gone into this wide position. We see the front 4 there. 2 false nines in Cunha and Bruno Fernandes. Cunha, who's actually played wide left in the Fulham game, didn't quite work with Mbeumo through the middle, and since then it's been flipped. And a lot of that, as I said, because he wants that penetration in that wide area that he's lost with Dorgu being injured. But this has then give opposition teams problems as well. You haven't got a fixed centre-forward. You've now got 2 players between the lines here, Bruno Fernandes. But look at the pace again, running from one end of the pitch to the other. That's what Brian Mbeumo gives you, whether through the middle or out wide. again, we come to Cunha. We're talking about signings. Cunha again, Bruno Fernandes, no fixed centre forward. They're getting the width and penetration out wide. But this could be a big night for Cunha tonight in these positions. You think of the centre-backs who they're up against in sort of Keane and Tarkovsky. You don't want to be up alongside them. You want to be between the lines. But a big thing, as you mentioned to Michael Carrick, was there a chance Sesko played? But the big thing for Sesko and Michael Carrick right now, the scoring late goals, another big tradition for Manchester United. Always has been and always will be. And that's what that lad's done, coming off the bench, scoring vital goals and getting vital points for this team. And then, as we saw in the last game...
The Ruud van Nistelrooy finish.
Yeah, of course, a little bit. And, of course, we know the history and everything. And most of the time it happened at Stratford End. But this type of games, that you come off the bench and where you can help your team. Yeah, that's something. Yeah. And, of course, you had to talk about... Does he need to play? But yeah, the team is working.
He says he's happy. You're winning. He says Ben's happy now.
He's not happy, but no, Michael knows, of course. Yeah, it's a team selection, so you only have 11. So if he can play whatever half an hour, 20 minutes when it's needed, and of course, even when you're winning 2-0 or something, you may have to make sure that I think he makes the right substitutions. At the right moment,
well, not only
when you're losing, but also when you're winning.
Yeah. Have a look at this. I mean, it's just five games under Michael Carrick. There have been 3 goals by subs. If you compare that with the 47 under Ruben Amorim, just 2 goals by subs in all of that time. Does that strike you as strange?
It seems a little bit, but I think my understanding what maybe Amorim changed a little bit more at the centre back a little bit, or changed something on the midfield. And I think Michael is changing in a positive way, in an attacking way. So I think that helped a little bit. Of course, Diallo is also fit, so that helps a lot on going forward. But I think mainly what you mentioned a little bit with Cunha and Moreno. Experienced Premier League players, they know what. I think they changed the strategy a little bit on the recruitment side, and that benefits them now if they play in the right system and gives the right results.
They've also got a very calm goalkeeper. Senne Lammens is Edwin van der Sar Mark II. We'll be talking.